for this project to media, and then make sure you're always selected on pixels. Okay, this is important. So for the width and height, you want to be on both on the same units essentially, but we're going to be working with pixels because it's the easiest. I don't really work with centimeters or millimeters, inches on the computer. It just doesn't make sense for me. But I mean, I guess it matters on what you're doing. But for me, pixels. Well, for now, we're just going to work with pixels, work with width and height. And yeah, I was going to say for me, it's just the easiest because everything is in pixels on the computer. So yeah, so just it doesn't really matter what you do for the bit depth. I'm just gonna go 16-bit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's press continue or okay, and then we continue to the screen, which gives us by default we're just gonna have a blank white square. So this is, as you guys can see, right here to the right, like the layers tab. This shows us all the layers, all the elements, everything that is included in the project. So all we have now, this is basically like a very blank project. With all we have is this background white box sort of thing. So to first get started, and we're just gonna unlock this layer because by default, when you make a new project, the first layer is locked. So we don't really have a lot of freedom to do like move it around and stuff. So what we're gonna do is actually double click on this locked icon or this lock icon, and then when we do that, as you guys can see, we have this like layer option. So let's name it background. So let's name it background, and then we can keep the color. We can do it none and default color, or we can choose whatever you want, and that'll essentially just make the color of the box. But that's like the color here. Color. Let's select a color. This is actually very good for organizing, and we're going to go over that later. So let's, as you guys can see, the red color that we selected is sort of kind of like marks it with that little red color. So later on, while you're working, you can always assign layers different colors, and with that, you can kind of organize your project. But that's not very important for now. We're just going to learn the interface for now. So as you guys can see, we have a white background here. So the first thing we're actually going to do is learn.
Here's to the big game, to the growers of the sod on which it's played, to the makers of stadiums made of nachos, and to the pre-party coordinators. Here's to the flat screen on the wall installs, and to the local caterers who fit breakfast burritos and folks who made super expensive commercials. Here's to all the small business game happen. More websites run on WordPress than any other platform. WordPress.com.
So the first thing we're actually going to do is learn what's the list that we are actually offered in this column to the left is this. So we're going to select, make sure that you right this layers tab. Select there only one or only layer in this project, and then we're going to select the picture. And then we can, as you guys can see, we can, and what you see in this background, you see this like sort of checkered background that basically means it's transparent. If you render out this picture right now, it's basically going to be transparent. So all you see is this box, and then nothing else. This background is transparent. So what we're going to actually do is undo that. So you can undo move, and then let's say you do a couple actions. The best way to undo stuff is to actually go Control Alt Z, because that is ultimately like you can only undo once. See, as you guys can see, I undid all the way back to creating the background. So let's actually step forward. So Control C. Hold on. Step forward. Let's add like the tutorial sake. Let's just do like scribbles, something like that. So let's say I did Control Z once, and then I did it again. As you guys can see, it just redid that. So the way we go step backwards, if you want to keep on undoing more than once, is Control Alt Z, edit, and then step back. That's a very important tool you guys must know in the future. Anyways, so now let's add a shape to this project. As you guys can see, that is like we learned like to use the which is it's quite straightforward. And then we're gonna learn to do more stuff like rotating. So the first thing we're actually gonna do now, learn that is actually go down to this tool right here. As you guys can see, it's like a little squiggly sort of shape. So we're gonna right click on that and actually select rectangle. So as you guys can see, we kind of have this little crosshair sort of thing. So we're gonna select and drag, and we're gonna make a rectangle by doing that. So we did make a rectangle, but as you guys can see, it's sort of like a white rectangle, so it's kind of blending in the background. All you guys can see is like black outline around it, kind of indicating that we're selected on it. So if we deselect that, as you guys can see, we can't really see the rectangle. So we're gonna assign a color to it, or fill. So we're just gonna go to the fill option, as you guys can see up here. Select that, and we can choose any color for the rectangle. Since the background is white, anything that isn't white is gonna show. So let's just make this like a dark gray color. I guess that works. So now if we want to move the rectangle in the middle, of course, we can do that by just clicking dragging. And if you guys want to move any object in a sort of linear fashion where you don't really, if you want to just like assign like a certain, let's say we want to move it like horizontally. So we can just like put it there, and then if you just hold down shift and then move it, it sort of locks to the position where it was. Let's say we're moving horizontally, we can't move it left and right. We can just move it horizontally because it's locked. And then let's say we want to move it left and right there. So that's the way, even unless we like go shift, as you guys can see, it does that. So we can also do that diagonally. So that's the way you guys can move things linear, where it kind of just locks onto the axis it's on. So now let's say we wanted to rotate this rectangle. We can go Control T, and that is basically just basically the shortcut for the transform. And let's say we wanted to rotate this rectangle. Guide our mouse to the sort of corner of the box, where we kind of see this little arrow pointing downward and then to the left. And once we see that, we can click and drag to how we want to rotate this. So let's say we want to rotate it like that or like that. And you can if you guys also can see like this angle sort of thing up here, we can do that numerically. We don't necessarily need to do it visually here, but we can also input numbers and do whatever you want with the angles. Same with the width and height on all the dimensions. So let's say we wanted to reset that to 0, just to have it like it was before we did any mechanics. Or another way you guys can do that. Let's say you scaled it, you did a bunch of stuff to the object, but you want to just revert it to how it was before. Before you went to Control T, you guys can just click this sort of like undo icon, I guess. And as you guys can see, it kind of reverts it to what we did before the transform options. So now what we're actually going to do is, as you guys can see, you guys can scale it visually, as I said, or you can actually do it here. So let's say we want it twice as big as it is now, so we go 200% by 200%. So it's basically 2 times bigger than it was, and then once we are happy with the edits we did, we just click this check arrow, and then basically we've just applied all the changes we did to this object. Alright, so now we're gonna now that's basically like the very basics of the interface, and now we're actually gonna add on some effects to this box, like a drop shadow, maybe an outer glow or something like that. And this is actually very simple to do, so we're just gonna navigate down to, make sure you're selected on the certain layer. So if you're selected on this, it kind of shows like these little square icons where you can obviously do the changes, and then all the stuff that we learned. So I'm just going to revert back to how it was, but make sure you're selected on the rectangle on top. And this is all very important to actually know, it's kind of like a hierarchy. So let's say we wanted to have this character on top of this, where we want to be able to see this. We basically just have to drag that on top. So any layer of that is on top is shown on top of it. It's basically like a layering system. It's very straightforward. So yeah, always make sure that these smaller layers, these backgrounds are always on the bottom of everything. That's basically the way you want to think about it. So yeah, make sure this layer is on top of the background, and then let's say we want to add, like I said, an effect. So we click on the rectangle and go down to this effect icon, click on that, and then go blending options. So now this is where we have where we can mess around with. So the first thing I'd like to do is to drop shadow. So have a little shadow behind this box. So we go down to this option and click on drop shadow. So as you guys can see, we have a little shadow behind this box, but we can make it more drastic, make it bigger. So we can like make it bigger by increasing the size and then the spread. The spread essentially makes it more like condensed, I want to say, but I'm not sure if that's the right word to use. But so basically, yeah, we can increase it using the spread and size. Size just makes the shadow spread a bit more. So let's make the size a bit smaller. So as you guys can see, we have a little shadow behind it. That looks pretty nice. And what else can we do for the effects? We can add a stroke, and the stroke is basically like a little outline that goes around any object.